This home, located at 3388 Peg Leg Mine Road in Jamul, underwent a comprehensive flood restoration and structural rehabilitation in 2024. The flood caused widespread damage to flooring, cabinetry, walls, and critical infrastructure. Upon inspection, extensive water damage and multiple stages of mold growth were discovered throughout the home, including black mold, mildew, and hidden microbial contamination behind drywall, under flooring, inside cabinetry, and around windows and doors. These findings were not superficial. They were embedded deep within structural components and were directly impacting indoor air quality. What we once believed were age-related health symptoms, such as fatigue, inflammation, and respiratory issues, have since been linked to prolonged exposure to these mold conditions. This discovery not only explained the chronic discomfort we'd experienced, but also proved the urgent need for immediate remediation to protect our health and safety. The first major upgrade addressed ADA accessibility. The front door was lowered to eliminate a hazardous entry step, and the front door's hardware and handles were fully upgraded. The original handle had been non-functional since move-in, making safe access difficult and highlighting the need for this essential repair. Floodwater intrusion caused the laminate flooring to buckle and blister. Moisture was found beneath the floors and along the baseboards, with evidence of mildew saturation into the walls and kitchen cabinetry. These findings led to a complete kitchen tear-out and restoration. Mold was visibly present behind the cabinets and drywall, requiring mitigation throughout the kitchen zone. The kitchen was rebuilt with a new layout centered around functionality and water health. A new island was installed containing a reverse osmosis system and soft water filtration unit. The household water tested at over 30 times the average mineral content, necessitating immediate plumbing upgrades. All drain and supply lines were rerouted through the crawlspace to improve efficiency and support the new layout. The sliding glass door showed visible signs of dry rot and fogging. The base of the door was crumbling, and black mold was present around the frame. These conditions prompted replacement of the door and surrounding materials. The original layout of the home included 2 living rooms separated by a center wall, which limited usability. To create a more functional space, the wall was removed and an open-concept living area was established. During this phase, water staining was observed near the skylight openings. The skylights were removed, but ceiling drywall work was deferred pending professional roof repairs. In the laundry room, significant water damage had compromised the lower cabinetry and flooring. The area was fully redesigned with new cabinetry, a utility sink, a folding counter, and relocated plumbing and electrical systems. Mold was mitigated throughout this space. On the opposite side of the wall, the bathroom had experienced similar damage. The bathtub, sink, and vanity were all removed due to subfloor rot and seal failure. A new walk-in shower was constructed with a 4-inch curb and waterproof Durarock backing, followed by full tiling. The bathroom received new cabinets, a countertop, and flooring. In the new open living room, a custom entertainment center was constructed featuring a 72-inch recessed linear fireplace, wave wall material backing, and open shelving. Recessed ceiling lighting was installed across the space, and an arched alcove was built near the entrance for seating and shoe storage. The soffit design over the kitchen ties architecturally into the alcove feature. As restoration efforts progressed, we conducted a mold test throughout the home. Despite visual repairs and surface-level cleanup, the results confirmed that mold spores remained active in the air. Samples were taken from 3 key locations, all of which had a long history of roof leaks. These were areas I had maintained to the best of my ability over the years, with patchwork, tarps, and sealants. But the problem was never truly addressed at the source. This goes back 10 to 15 years. I knew the roof needed to be redone, and I told Brad, who was acting as the property manager. Instead of providing help or support, Brad turned his back on us and blocked all communication. The roof was never replaced. I went up and put tarps up, tried to slow it down, and did all the patching work I could do. But the leaks kept returning season after season, slowly worsening with each storm. The exterior stucco began showing signs of discoloration, especially along the top edges of the walls, directly beneath the roofline. These stains developed over time and clearly marked the locations where roof leaks had persisted. At first, I believed the discoloration might have been from dirty runoff, maybe debris from the roof or eaves washing down during rain. But it never went away. In fact, it kept getting bigger and darker as time went on. It wasn't until we began discovering the extent of the water and mold damage inside the home that I had a realization. This wasn't just dirty runoff. It was likely mold showing through the stucco itself. That was the turning point. The moment I understood that what we were seeing on the outside was directly connected to what was happening inside the walls. These visible exterior signs, combined with the interior mold findings, confirmed that long-term water intrusion had compromised the home's structure from the roofline down. We are also submitting a full renovation reimbursement package to account for the extensive work that was completed to repair and restore the home, including materials, labor, and health-related mitigation efforts, all paid out of pocket during this period of silence and inaction. Further remediation is still on hold until the roof is professionally replaced and sealed. We now understand the health consequences. For the past 5 years, Erica has been experiencing chronic symptoms: fatigue, respiratory sensitivity, and systemic inflammation. We now believe these symptoms were caused by continuous exposure to airborne mold, originating from those long-ignored roof leaks. I've likely been affected too, but we didn't know. We were living in an invisible, toxic environment. As a result of these mold findings, we have been forced to move out of the house for health reasons. It is no longer safe to remain inside while spores circulate in the air, and professional remediation cannot begin until the roof is fully replaced. We are respectfully requesting temporary housing until the roof is redone and the structure is cleared for re-entry. In addition to the mold crisis, a severe windstorm in January 2025 caused a large tree to fall on the property, damaging the exterior riser pipe that delivers electricity to the home. This resulted in a full electrical outage. We tried to stay in the house for the first 2 days, but with freezing conditions, no heat, no water, and no electricity, it became impossible. The home was uninhabitable. We were forced to stay in a hotel during this emergency. To restore power, SDG&E required a city permit and a licensed electrician to install a new riser and bring the system up to code. This process took 2.5 weeks, during which we had no access to power or water, and incurred out-of-pocket costs for both lodging and electrical service, which were submitted in a reimbursement packet for electrical expenses. The emergency was handled entirely without support from the trustee or property manager. Our well system has also been deteriorating for years. When the original pump began to fail, I purchased a replacement pump, but we were never able to fund the labor to fully pull the line and reinstall it properly. With no access to Brad or trust support, I was forced to rig a workaround. I installed an inline pump system, drawing water from a 10,000-gallon water tank and feeding it into a secondary pressure pump located beneath the deck. This is how we've managed to supply water to the house through the soft water system. But it is not a permanent solution, and the original well pump still needs professional repair. The fire sprinkler system also remains offline. Over the years, sludge built up at the bottom of the 500-gallon tank, which is a dedicated storage tank for the fire sprinkler system, rendering the system inoperable. Sprinkler heads may also need to be replaced due to ceiling damage from years of roof leaks. These systems, water, fire protection, electricity, and air quality, are foundational to safety and habitability. We have managed for years under makeshift conditions, but the burden, both physically and emotionally, has been overwhelming. Brad's rejection of our requests and his refusal to communicate has caused deep personal pain and prolonged suffering. Every step forward we've taken has been without the support we should have had, not just as beneficiaries of the trust, but as family. The renovation transformed the property into a livable and functional space, including remodeled bathrooms, upgraded systems, ADA-compliant entries, and the unification of 2 living rooms into one spacious, open-concept layout that flows beautifully. These improvements were completed with care and urgency, despite personal financial strain. While the mold was originally addressed from the half drywall down, new testing revealed contamination remains in the upper drywall and ceiling due to a roof leak that has compromised the home for years. Symptoms we've experienced over time now make sense as the effects of mold exposure. Though the home looks finished, the air remains unsafe. We are currently displaced, staying in a mobile home with family. This is not sustainable. The property is uninhabitable until licensed professionals complete the remaining mold and roof remediation, and it is verified safe for return. Today, we're submitting documentation for all completed work, storm-related damage, and remaining health and safety concerns.